Arkan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, to the 12 Shahs, Yagasha Allah, giving the course, all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Mahashiach, Malak, Yahushua. That's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of Zom, the Godson, Yahushua. That's his brother Yash Allah.
Brother Abai.
Khan, come back to y'all yet another video through the Spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Mahashiach, Malak, Yahushua. All right, Lord willing, all Israel is enduring through the Spirit. All right, we're going to get straight into this because this is a 30-minute fire. All right, so I'm going to kick it off. For the book of Luke, chapter 4. All right, let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 4. And, right, verse number, let me see here. Right, see where I want to start at. Luke, chapter 4, and verse number 38. Right, it says, or praise, and it says, and he arose out of the synagogue and entered into Simon's house. And Simon's wife's mother was taken with a great fever, and they besought him for her. Now, remember, just a sidebar, hey, your fever that you have, the fever that you have, a cold, you might have a cold, hey, you might even have the pestilence, you know, whatever pestilence, whatever ailment that you have within you, it's actually a spirit that's on you. See, Esau, he trains you to look at it all carnally. He never teaches you that it's a spirit on you, right? He always teaches you that it's something to do with the carnality of it, right? Or like the bacteria with inside of you. You might have your immune system, this and that. Although it might even be that on a carnal level, guess what? We're spiritual men, so we have to walk spiritually, talk spiritually, and think spiritually, right? So on a spiritual level, everything, right, is ordained. It's like not ordained, but it has to do with spirits, right? So that damn you being angry, that's a spirit on you, right? And you being sick, that's a spirit on you. You know, you have that certain emotion or that lust, and that's spirit on you. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm gonna keep going. So Simon wives, the wife of Simon, or it's like her mother, right? Rather, she was taken with a great fever, and they besought Yahweh Shah for her. Right, verse 39. And he stood over her and rebuked the fever. So he rebuked the fever. He didn't give her, you know, penicillin, and he didn't, conjure up, this medicine, right, out of in the laboratory and give it to her. He said he rebuked the fever. He cast that demon out. It says what? And rebuked the fever, and it left her. And immediately she arose and ministered unto them. It says immediately. Did Yahweh even ask that? Did he command her to do that? No. As soon as the spirit left her and she became well again, she got herself up and ministered unto them. She had a fever, bro. She just had a fever. But as soon as she recovered, she got up and ministered unto the men of the Lord. You know? Now that's in the Bible. But a lot of women, they don't want to read that, right? How many women in the truth were actually is willing to, when as soon as they recover from their sickness, to minister unto the men of the Lord without question and without even commandment? They just do it because they know it's their duty, right? Certain things we don't have brothers don't have to tell us to do certain things because we already know that we have to do it. Like going out to the highways and byways. I shouldn't have to call up Abaya every Friday night and tell him, Abaya, you got to go out to camp. You know what I'm saying? And he shouldn't have to do that to me. That should already be a given, right? So, certain things like that. Same for the woman. She got herself up, ministered unto the men of the Lord without question and without command. Right, Pecan, you got it, King.
Con, that's right. Yeah, women can do the work too, man. The man shouldn't be doing everything. He's the one going to have to teach. He got the world on his shoulders. He got to what's it called read. He got to teach his household. He got to study. He got to be that light. He got to go to work. And when he comes back, he got to cook. He got to do his own laundry. He got to do all these different. He got to sew. He got the spindle in his hand, going to work, making his own fringes, making his own garment, while you just sitting up there watching TV and doing nothing. No, the woman can put work in too. You know,
Right.
of Exodus chapter 35 and verse 25. And all the women that were wise hearted. So these are for the women who's wise hearted, who are very wise in their works, in their actions, in their conversations. Right? These are for the woman who's wise hearted. It says, and all the women that were wise hearted did spin with their hands, and brought that which they had spun, both of blue and of purple and of scarlet and of fine linen. So these women who was wise hearted, they spun with their hands. They was sewing fringes. They was helping building the ark and building these different things for the ark and the tabernacle and things in that nature, man. Willingly with the whole heart, right? Even tells you in verse 21, and they came in Exodus 35 and 21, and they came every one whose heart stirred him up, and every one whom his spirit made willing, and they brought the Lord's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, and for all his service, and for the holy garments. It says for the verse 22, and they came both man and woman, as many as were willing hearted, not fine here, not not doing it half heartedly, but it was wholeheartedly, willingly, man. They did it off the strength, off the muscle in this thing, man. Right? No one had to tell them to do it. It was through the spirit. It was on fire, making things for the tabernacle. And you can make things for the tabernacle, for the church. You could probably bring water, make fringes for the Archium, man. You can make garments for the Archium. You can do different things for the Archium, man, for the church. It don't have to just be you making food all the time, man. If you really want to be on fire, man, you gotta, like, hey, man, see what our foremothers did. You had Dorcas, for example. She was making garments. You had women following Yahushua. You would think they were just following Yahushua and not doing nothing. They was cooking too. They was sewing. You even had Mary Magdalene washing her hair, or getting her hair, washing the Lord's feet and anointing his feet and his head and things of that nature, man. So how much more you? You gotta be on fire too. Even the men, but the women, we're getting on the women right now. You gotta be on fire and stop just chilling back, watching Netflix all day, binge watching Housewives of Housewives of Atlanta or whatever, of Orlando, or whatever you want to call Orange County. I don't know, and things of that nature, and get to work in this thing, man. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like it. Exodus 35 and verse 26. And all the women whose hearts stirred them up in wisdom spun goat's hair. You should be praying that, man, that the Lord stir up your heart in wisdom to do something profitable for the ministry. He might give you what's called an idea to do that not a lot of people know, man. He might stir you up to start a daycare, with the create a sisterhood and start a daycare, man. That's a good work,
Mm.
that the children of Israel can go to and learn actually under the hand of righteous sisters and stuff like that and authority, and have them learn real things that they need to know, whether it be in the truth and also in the world, to help them actually learn the things. You think they need to be learning about reading, having reading class and things of that nature, man. They should be learning how to, lead a household or budgeting, and stuff like that to actually start something, man. Because that's the reason why a lot of people are poor now. They never had a dad in their life on how to budget, on how to do certain things or know certain things in this world, especially not the truth. So it'll definitely be righteous to have sisters and brothers, come together and do stuff like that. But
Con, that's right. That's right. Huh? I got a precept to go on to that as well. Right. Let's go to the book of First Timothy, chapter 5. Right. Verse number 5. It says, "Now," right, I'm gonna start verse 4. It says, "But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home, and to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before God. Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate trusteth in God, and continueth in supplications and prayers night and day." Hey, did you know that prayers is a form of laboring, man? You don't have to make 1,000 videos and have 2,000 followers on Instagram and 2,000 subscribers on YouTube to be a laborer of Yahweh Shemini Abashah. Now you're laboring. After your 1,000th video, now you're a laborer of the Most High. You know, no, it doesn't work like that, bro. There's many ways that you can labor. And like we always say, there's even different offices. Not everybody is a teacher. Not everybody is an apostle. Not everybody is a prophet, right? Hey, there's many ways you can labor. So even a widow, or even just a woman, just a woman, right? A sister in this truth, you can labor by what? Continuing in supplications and prayers night and day. Imagine that widow. All she does, man. right? She's praying to the Lord. How she's writing out prayers, writing down her sins. That's laboring too. Hey, let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Colossians. People don't know that. You know, let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 4, and right, verse 12. It says, Epaphroditus, who is one of you, a servant of Christ, saluteth you, always laboring fervently for you in prayers, that ye may stand perfect and complete in all the will of God. You see that? So this man, he was a servant of Yahweh Shah, but he was always laboring fervently for you, in prayers. You can labor fervently just by praying, you know, because praying is not easy. You have to be constant. You have to concentrate on Yahweh Shah. You can't just pray and say any other thing, right? Any old thing that comes to your mind, right? And make these strong out prayers like Christians do. Oh Lord Jesus, oh Lord this, oh Lord Jesus. Hey, when we was before a race and stuff, this is a Christian on my team. Hey, his prayers, it damn sucks, man. You know, it sucks. Why are you praying to Jesus? He said, "Oh Lord Jesus." I'm like, what the bro? What is going on? People got their heads down like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the hell? This is madness, man. Right? And then the Jake said, "All right, let's say Amen at the end." I'm like, bro, what? It's madness, bro. So when you pray correctly, it's laboring, man, in the eyes of the Lord. So, hey, that's another way sister could be laboring, right? Hey, remember, sister, you don't have to make 1,000 videos, right? You don't have to make 1,000 garments. You know what I'm saying? Although making garments is good, but hey, guess what? Pray. Make sure you're not praying just 2 times a day. I knew a sister that just prayed 2 times a day. All right. She, you know, don't just pray 2 times a day. Pray more, right? Because let's be honest, you have more time than us brothers. Let's just be honest, man. Hey, certain brothers, we don't have it. We don't have even time for ourselves, right? So if all that time you have, you can be using that to pray to the Lord. Let's just be honest. Khan, you got it, King.
Salakia. This book of Luke, chapter 10, in verse 38, and it reads, Now it came to pass, as they went, that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And that can be on a physical level and on a spiritual level, man. Because your house is your body, man. You can receive Yahweh into your house because he's at the door knocking at your mind. That one moment, you may want to watch, TV, but guess what? The Lord comes and knocks in your mind, and it tells you to read the Bible. Which one are you going to choose? You going to let Yahweh into your house, or guess what? Are you going to watch that Netflix show? Some people will watch that Netflix, but other people will let Yahweh in and let him sup with you, man. Right? Verse 39. And she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Yahushua's feet and heard his word. And no one would sit, hey, no one would sit on the ground, man. Do you have a chair? Right? I'm not going to sit here, man. Who would actually sit on the ground and listen to people speak, to the man of the Lord speak, especially Yahushua? And a lot of women would do that, especially nowadays, because of pride, and things of that nature. They care about earthly garments, garments. It might get dirty, or things in that nature, man, which is folly. Verse 40. But Martha was cumbered about much serving and came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that my sister have left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me. So Martha was going, she was working in the kitchen, man. She was going to work. She was laying down the food, getting the portions ready for the men of the Lord. And she had to rationalize it out, what's called, to the men of the Lord and have them eat because she cared for the church. Now, what females doing that? You have some, don't get me wrong. If the shoe fits, then wear it. If you are known for, giving fruit out to the man of the Lord, to the Akim, you giving water bottles out when it's hot, especially the spring coming in. Well, it's here now. The summer about to come in. It's hot. You over here just sitting down, not doing nothing, right? You just doing this. You bored at camp. Probably got an earbud in your AirPods, trying to hide it with your hand, things you might be on your phone. You really don't want to be there. You don't know why you're there. You got AirPods in, listening to other people teach, which is disrespectful as heck. right? Hey man, hey, the Lord's not dealing with that. You could be giving water bottles out. You could be giving fruit out. You can be doing a lot of things, man. Right? Even when you see Akium, what's it called? They say they're sick, things in the nature. You can be that helping hand and bring some what's it called righteous medicine or bitter herbs or something like that and give it to them. There's many things you can do. Even if you have a big sisterhood, y'all should start a good what's it called Bible study together. Increase the sisterhood, man. Right? Um, verse 41. And Yahushua answered and said unto her, Martha, 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 sorry, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things, but one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen that good part which shall not be taken away from her. And then guess what? She was listening to the words of the Lord, man, which is the better part. Getting the understanding, not bucking up, being submissive, actually listening and learning and taking notes, which that's doing the work of the Lord too. There's different, like I said, there's different ways for the man of the Lord and the woman of the Lord to do the work. It's not just always shaking the hand, but what about the things in the back, in the background? That's even legal Salaki, one more precept.
Con.
Salaki. Even your house said that, man. You know, a real leadership, when you look at your house leadership, it was about being the man. It was about doing the things that no one else would do. That's his leadership. But this is the book of Matthew, chapter 20 and verse 28. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. So, hey, his leadership is not being seen of man. It's not always taking charge. Cause he even let Peter take charge sometimes, man. But guess what? It's about doing the things that no one else want to do. It's about doing the things that no one even thinks about doing, man. That no one wants to do. Probably bringing water bottles. I don't want to do that. It costs money. I won't even get thanks for that anyways. Why would I do that? Making sandwiches, man. What's it called? Making sure brothers are all right. Even calling on brothers, man. Right? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's what the Lord did. What about you sisters, man? You can do the same thing. Doing the things that sisters want to do. Making fringes for the brothers, garments for the brothers, man. Hey, make your own office. Just because you don't have an office don't mean you're not late. Hey, make your own office in this thing. But kind of,
Right. Yeah, con. That's right. That's right, man. Sometimes you just have to be a go getter, man. You just have to be better than this thing, right? Let's go to the book, right? Trying to see what kind of precept I want, right? Yeah, con. Let's go to the book of Philippians, right? Uh, right. Yeah, con. Yeah, let's go to Philippians chapter 4, verse 2, right? It says, "I beseech Udius and beseech Synthony that they be of the same mind in the Lord." So you don't want to be the sister that is, what I'm saying, always causing contention, right? She's always causing contention, maybe in a congregation or a camp. Don't be that sister, man. And even to the brothers. Let's not be the brother that's always known for causing contention. Every time it comes around, a debate starts to happen, right? Every time it comes around, brothers getting loud and brawling starts to happen, man. Let's not be that brother. Let's not be that sister, you know, that's causing division, causing rumors to arise. The Lord, and He hates that, man. He hates whispering, and backbiting and all manner of rumors being spread amongst the nation. He doesn't like that. The Lord even said that in the book of Leviticus chapter 19. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer amongst thy people, man. You know, and that's what a lot of sisters in the world like to do. You can't bring that worldly stuff into the truth, man. Right? Verse 3. And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which labor with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers whose names are in the book of life. So there was women who helped labor with Paul, man. Now, does that mean that they were out there, right? Paul was bringing out precepts. Yeah, women on the line, right, holding up the scriptures and read. And he said, right, give me what I'm saying, give me a scroll of Jeremiah. Where the scroll of Jeremiah? Right, give me this in Isaiah. Right, give me this in the no, that's not what was going on, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Or Paul, he was teaching for 5 hours. He rested, you know what I'm saying? And the next woman went up, And then she started to preach and to teach for about 5 hours as well. Then the next woman came up, right? No, that's not what that's going into, right? How do women labor with men of the Lord, right? Let's go to the book, right, of Romans, chapter 16. All right, let's go to Romans chapter 16 and verse 1 real quick. All right. It says, I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, which is a servant of the church, which is at Centuria, that ye receive her in the Lord as becoming saints, and that ye assist her in whatsoever business she have need of you. So imagine that. Paul, one of the top apostles, man. Speaking as a man, although he didn't deem himself as such, right? But let's just look at the facts, right? Paul, he was going hard for the Lord, even more harder than some of the other apostles that were over him, man, right? And he had a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom, right? But he even said, right? He commanded the men in the church of Rome. He said that you receive her in the Lord as becoming saints, and that ye assist her in whatsoever business she have need of you. So he's telling this man to assist this woman, man, right? He's telling these men to assist this woman. That's how much, that's how righteous this woman, this sister was, man. You know, that's how righteous, how virtuous, and how much she helped, right? Labor with Paul, right? It says what? Whatsoever business she have need of you, for she have been a secure of many and of myself also. So she was a secure. Last time I checked, when you go to the book of Sirach, chapter 36, right? Let's go to that real quick. Sirach, chapter 36. According to the wisdom of Sirach, let's go to Sirach chapter 36 and verse 24. It says, He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Because man, remember, Israelites in general, we don't get any rest in this society. We don't get any rest in this world, especially the Israelite men. So with that in mind, having a woman, right? She's supposed to be our pillar of rest. You know what I'm saying? Since we don't get any. So that's what that means. A secure of many, she was a pillar of rest, not only to Paul, but onto other fellow laborers, man. And so that's why she got that shout out by Paul, right? Hey, last time I checked, and I'm past it, Proverbs chapter 31, verse 30, it says, Beauty is vain, or favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But in women that fear the Lord, she shall be praised. So at the end of the day, that virtue is that righteous woman that fears Yahweh Shah. That's the one that's going to be praised. Not just a beautiful woman, not just a woman that has, a lot of followers, not just a woman that is well known in Israel. It's a woman that actually fears the Lord, right? So, but Khan, you got a king.
Man, the brother making a good point. Just because you got a servant of the Most High, or in a bio, tribe of Judah, tribe of Ephraim, so on and so forth, doesn't make you a Proverbs 31. It comes through experience, through actions, man, and truth and sincerity. You know, what makes a man of the Lord a man of the Lord? Through the spirit he has upon him. Through his actions and stuff like that. I'm in great straight right now. I don't know if I want to go to Abigail or go to Sarah, but the spirit's leading towards Sarah. So we can go to Sarah. This is Genesis chapter 18. Let me see, man. This whole thing is good, man. I like the. That's one of my favorite chapters, Genesis chapter 18, the whole chapter, and 19 as well. But this Genesis 18, I'll start verse 4. Right, it reads, "Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree." Now, for you men, you gotta be hospitable. And Abraham was very hospitable, man. When you read about the men of the Lord, even your house, they were very hospitable, man. Giving and not receiving. You're making sure you're comfortable, making sure you have the things that you need. Even when you read about Lot, he was hospitable. Hospitable. He said, "Man, look, I'm not gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna keep." He was pressing the angels out sore until they came into the house, and he made them 11 bread, stuff like that. So that's one thing for the men. Be hospitable, man. That's a challenge for this week. Be hospitable. If you know you can do something, man, for someone, do so. Make them feel at home. Make them feel comfortable. You see someone that feels, alone, they're uncomfortable. Hey, be that brother. Be that one brother, who sticks to the side. make him comfortable and stuff like that. Verse 5. And I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, so do as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah and said, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon her. You see that? So he went in there and said, hey, hurry up and do this. That's like Jake. You probably get done with the mighty camp. All the Aki want to come back and congregate. You call up your Sarah and stuff like that and say, hey, make ready quickly, jerk chicken, or put the chicken in the oven, blah 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 blah, fry the chicken. It's always chicken, man. Or do something, man. Cook this, cook that. Jake. It's always the chicken. Always got that chicken in the freezer already marinated for something, just for something. But yeah, hey, get this ready because the occupant's coming over. Now let's see what Sarah did. Right, and it reads, and Abraham ran unto the herd and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. It says, and they did eat, meaning Sarah cooked it. Meaning Abraham did everything he had to do, and Sarah did everything he had to do. She had to do, Salakia. Now, it doesn't say anywhere in this context that she was asking questions. She was asking, why can't you just do it? Just go to Golden Corral. Go out to eat. I don't feel like cooking. You're disturbing my peace. She didn't tell Abraham, don't come home. And she hurried up and did what she had to do.
Right.
That's being doing things in a willing heart, like it says in Exodus 35. That's being on fire for the Lord, things in that nature, being submissive to your authority, to your master, to Abraham. Even when you read First Peter 3, it says Sarah. Let me get that real quick. You got to learn from these different women. The attributes of Judith. She was very. You had a what's it called. She was ready to put. She was ready to put everything on the line for her own nation. The spirit of Sarah, humble, submissive, things of that nature. Priscilla, diligent, man, right? Clement. But then with First Peter chapter 3 and verse 6, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. You see that? So even Sarah called called him Lord. So like, what kind of brother got it?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Khan. That's right. They should call him Lord, man. You know, hey, you got certain women, right? I'm pretty sure you have certain wives that call their husbands, Dan nigga. You know what I'm saying? Come over here, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. You think the righteous women of the ancient world was doing that to their husbands? You know, and Araya, brother Araya W5, he made a good point because he said that women think that just because your man is off, that means you can be off as well, right? Just because your man is off. Well, the brothers just brought it out, or was going to bring it out, right? Abigail was righteous, right? She was righteous, but her first husband, Nabal, was wicked as hell, but yet she still remained to have her integrity. Just because he was off she didn't have the excuse, or doesn't give her the excuse to go off as well. No, right? She remained steadfast in her integrity. She remained steadfast, right, in doing the works of the Lord, right, and being that virtuous, that righteous woman that she ought to be. And guess what? The Lord rewarded her by killing the bull and giving her a righteous, right, husband, David. See that? So, there's a lot of women, they have that mindset of, oh, he did this to me, I'm gonna do this to him. Vengeance spirit, right? Where's that at in the scriptures, right? Where's that in the Bible? Just because your man is off, now thou also wife can be off as well. No, that's not there, right? We have to remain steadfast in our integrity. But I want to get this precept real quick. First, Slakia, Isaiah chapter 1 verse 19. Right. I'm sharing my screen actually because I want to go into the Hebrew. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 19. Right. Now I'm gonna get the verse 18 so you can get the context, right? It says, "Come now, and let us reason together," saith the Lord. So this is the Lord speaking to the nation of Israel, and He's saying to the Israel, "Let us reason together," right? See how nice the Lord is? He said, "Let us reason together," right? The Lord doesn't have to reason with you, bro. He doesn't have to do that. But He said, let us reason together, right? So, what it says, though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool, right? Verse 19, if you be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. So if you're willing and obedient, see, remember the Lord, hey, we're the wife of the Lord. Israel is the wife of the Lord, right? So this is what the Lord is saying. If you be willing and obedient, right? So that's what the type of women, right, that has to be in this truth, right? Because guess what? The elect, who is the Lord's woman, who is the Lord's wife, they have to be willing and obedient too, man. We have to be willing and obedient to the Lord, to Yahushua. Yahushua tells us to go out to the highways and byways. Guess what? We have to do it. You know, the Lord told us to pray without ceasing. Guess what? We have to do it. The Lord told us that we have to provide for our own. We have to do it, man. We have to bear these certain burdens. So women also have burdens as well. Y'all not exempt, right? But this is what? Let's go to this word for obedient. Actually, hold on, willing, right? I'll play this real quick.
Strong's H14, Ava.
Right. So it says to be willing, consent, to consent, yield to, accept, right? So there was a word, acquiescent, right? Acquiescent, right? Now it says what? This is one of the words, basically a synonym, right? But this is the definition of it. It says ready to accept something without protest or to do what someone else wants. So that's the type of, women the Lord is looking for. Someone that is ready to accept something without protest, right? As we brought out, like as the Bible brought it as well, Sarah, she didn't protest against her husband, Abraham, when Abraham told her to do certain things. She didn't say anything back, you know? And likewise, us as men, the Lord tells us to do something. We can't start bucking up against the Lord, and cussing out the Lord because we don't want to do it. No, right? But come on.
Pretty simple for it. Just to go over First Timothy. It's a classic, but it's definitely important to bring over. Go over First Timothy 2:9, and it reads, "In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel." And that's a huge thing, that we have to understand in this truth. That you gotta adorn yourself in modest apparel, because everything that you wear is, everything that you cover is for your man to see, back at home and things of that nature. It's not for the world to see. You wearing skinny jeans that's so skin tight. You gotta jump into it to get the pants on. It ain't pop open, the button pop open and blast, go all over the place, man. No, you should be wearing a dress, and things of that nature, modest apparel, a head wrap, of course, and things of that nature. Even when you read, let me just preach up. History with Susanna, even Susanna was covered up, man. She wasn't walking around with yoga pants on, showing everything just all out for the world to see. This is the history of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 31, and it reads, "Now Susanna was a very delicate woman and beauteous to behold, and you may be very, comely or beautiful, and things of that nature." Verse 32, "And these wicked men commanded to uncover her face, for she was covered, that they might be filled with her beauty." So hey man, she was covered up, man. She had things covered up for only her husband to see, not for everybody to see. Even though she was so beautiful, things of that nature, she was covered up for only her husband. And when you look on these Instagrams, you have all these sisters doing these photo shoots. I don't know where that at in the Bible. You're doing photo shoots, all these different things, showing off certain things. Um, I don't know, man. Just doing all these different things, showing everything off when you have a husband too. That's madness. Now you enticing men to lust. You got men in the comment section saying text me or DM me, check your DMs. You look you're killing us this, stuff like that. That's your response back saying the water, and her husband scrolls and see the comment. Now he feels some type of way, the jealous spirit hop on him. All hell just breaking loose, man. That wasn't happening back in the ancient world. Well it was, but on a different level. But First
Yeah.
Peter 2, and like men are also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety. So you gotta be shamefaced. Don't be in every man's DMs. In every man's face, man. I might work at my plantation, man. Everybody talks to everybody. I don't get it. I was just meditating about this at the workplace. Why is everybody always trying to joke about something? Everybody's just trying to talk. We come there, get our job done, we dip out. But it's like everyone comes there like it's a playground to have fun, with each other and stuff like that. They intermingle with each other, talk about nonsense. You got a female
Mhm.
say today that what's it called? Yeah, when I drink, I don't remember anything when I wake up. In my head, I even made a face. I'm like, what? Like, what? Hey, man, what's that supposed to mean? You don't remember anything. What's going on, right? And then the dude said, "Yeah, me neither," and things of that nature. I'm like, this is mad. Huh? I did, hit one of those on them. And started going back to work, man. Started going back.
God.
This is madness. Right? It says, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. You see that? So, you being modest doesn't come from hair wraps, even though it is modest. You being modest doesn't come with braided hair. You probably got gold plates in your hair and stuff like that. You probably got earrings on. That doesn't make you modest. Verse 10, but which become a woman professing godliness with good works. That what makes you modest, like we said before. Your actions, your experience and stuff, your works is what makes you modest. You're not bucking up against your man. You not in every man's face. You're on fire for the Lord in truth and sincerity. You're keeping the commandments and you believe in your house, right? Verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. And a lot of women can't do that. They always have to say something. Well, I feel like, but what about this? Well, I was trying to do this. Well, I understand those are the lines Eve go to. But what about this? Or well, or I mean, that's the main one. I mean, stuff like that, man. Just be quiet, you know. Verse 12. You wouldn't do that if your house was here, because if you did, you'll be put to death. Verse 12.
Mhm.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. So be in silence, man. Your main thing is to take care of the children, to teach the children, to do things around the house, man. Right? To be that pillar of rest to your husband. Make the garments, man. Go on the spindle, or I think you call it spindle, right? And do your thing with the sewing machine, man. Or that sewing thing, or you have a sewing machine and do your thing, man. You shouldn't be the man in the household kicking down the doors. You got the belt around your dress, get that big belt around your dress, right? And things of that nature. It's madness, man. Uh,
Mhm.
but Con, that's all. But Con, you got it, King. So like,
Con, that's right. That's right. Um, man, it's a lot of precepts though. It's a lot of precepts. Yeah, Con. Yeah, you don't want to be that woman that's just all out there, man. That's just all out there. That has no shamefacedness. No sobriety. No chastity, man. You know, hey, hey, this is for the brothers. You know, I know that of me, right? I wouldn't want a candy. I wouldn't want candy that is not wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? It's not wrapped up. It's all exposed. There's dirt on it, dust, hair, ants all over it. Right? I don't want that candy, man. Don't give me that piece of candy. Give me the candy that is wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? It's safe. It's secure. Right? It's not all out there. It's not all open to the whole world. Because there's a lot of weird stuff in this world that can get on that candy and entering into it. And if I eat it, it can defile myself. Right? So I'm pretty sure brothers don't want, if we got ears to hear, that candy that is unwrapped and has no wrap. and is not protected, and all manner of dirt, hair, then dog hair, germs, bacteria, ants, it's on the candy, and then you go ahead and eat that. Nah, man, don't give me that. Right? Give me the one that's wrapped up. You know, so that's the type of that's the spirit that we have to move in. You know what I'm saying? And also for the women as well, right? That they have to be modest, right, and not showing themselves out for the world to see, right? Because that not only destroys that woman, right? Because first of all, that's first of all that's a lack of self respect. You know what I'm saying? That's a lack of self respect. Second, right? And you're causing men to go off because a lot of men in the world, guess what? They don't follow the laws. They don't follow the commandments. They don't follow the teachings of Yahweh. They're not trying to deny the flesh. They're trying to indulge in the flesh. So they see that, then they're automatically, you know what I'm saying, thoughts entering in, and then they start lusting, you know, and then that causes men to go off, right? So certain actions that women commit, they have to understand that it's not only just affecting them, it's also affecting other people, right? Certain sins that men do, you know, it only really just affects them. But certain sins and certain things that women do, it not only affects them, but affects a lot of other multitude of people if you got ears to hear, right? So I'm just get a precept on that. Right? Let's go to the book of Titus. Right? Let's go to the book of Titus, chapter 2, and verse number 3. Right? I'm gonna start at verse. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, "To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed." You see that? So the Lord said that the women must be discreet, chaste, and keepers at home, good, right, and obedient to their own husbands. If they have those certain traits, if sisters have those certain traits in the truth, they will fare well. You know, they would fare well. And I hope and pray that those sisters that exhibit those traits, right, and have those traits, you know, abound more and more, right? But Khan, and the brother already brought that precept about modesty. Khan. Yeah.
They got another precept too,
Khan.
right? To touch on other points. There's a book of First Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 15, and it reads, "Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land." So women are very important. Don't think you have to be a robot. Don't think you're is it what, underseen or underlooked or something like that, or overlooked. I believe is overlooked.
Khan.
You know, don't think like that, man. You're very important. You know, the same way in a beehive, the bees got different roles. So you got certain bees that go out to pollinate. Certain bees stay back to guard the beehive, the queen bee inside. You know, certain things. You know, it's just different roles in this thing, but they all play a pivotal point. You know, a pivotal role that helps produce a lot of honey to keep everything safe. This is a book of First Edges 4 and verse 15 again. "Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land." King David was born by a woman. Moses was born by a woman. Abraham, he was
Shalom,
born.
shalom, Israel, shalom.
Even Yahushua, he was born by a woman, right? So all these major people in the Bible, these men of honor in the Bible, guess what? They were all born by a woman. Verse 16, "Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards from whence the wine cometh. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto man. Without women cannot man be." So it says these also make garments for men. You know, it's a good thing your husband comes home from work, wiping the sweat off his forehead. You know, he comes back, you over here stressing because you can't find the right seam to get, the stitch and stuff like that for the garment you're making for him for Passover. Hey, that's a beautiful thing in his eyes, man. He might help you. You know, he might sit down, like, what can I do? What can I do for you, man? He don't want to come home. It stinks. You got diapers all over the place, right? You didn't do anything. No clothes are washed. It's dusty all over the place. It's dirty. Everything was the same when he left. And even though he told you to clean up, you've been in bed all day, man. Right, doing nothing, watching TV all day, ordering Uber Eats or DoorDash on the phone with your girlfriends. Right, that's madness, man. He gonna be pissed. Right, he gonna be pissed as heck. But someone who's making garments, who's what's it called reading, teaching the kids, and that brings honor into the men. It even tells you what let me get this real quick. In Proverbs 31, that the husband is known, even her, the husband is known in the gates. Her husband is known in the gates, because you give honor to the man. You make it easy on the man. You help him study. He comes home from work. He might not want to study, man. He's tired. He's in the flesh. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So he
Mm-hmm.
might. If it's dirty, that gonna put a spirit on him. Man, he gonna say, man, forget this, man. He's gonna go in the room and just lay down, right? But he sees everything clean. He got his Bible on the table, highlighters, pens, and stuff like that. He might even have topics he can go over and study and things of that nature. Guess what? He gonna be more in the spirit. He got his food prepared already. Things of that nature, man. You got a cold glass of his favorite drink. It might be water. It might be some sweet tea. And things of that nature, man. Right? He gonna be more in the spirit. But this is book of Proverbs, chapter 31. Let me see. In verse 23, and it reads, her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. So it's a just balance. The Lord's not gonna give, I don't want to say it like this, but if people can perceive it, they can perceive it. The Lord's not gonna give a low level Eve to a mighty brotherly spirit. He gonna link those spirits up. He gonna give a mighty sister to a mighty brother. He will give a so-called low-level sister to a low-level brother, so-called. Right? It's a just balance. That's why when you read about these men, David and Abigail, Jezreel, what's it called? It's the other one. The Jezreelitess. I forgot her name. Dang it, I remembered it though. But it's a. But when you read First Samuel 25, Abigail was a mighty woman, and he gave that to David, not to Nabal, because Nabal was a fool. You know, even Peter had a wife, man. And you best believe she was on fire. If Peter was always, on fire, guess what? She had to be on fire too. And things of that nature, man. So all these men had wives that was on fire for the Lord as well. Right? It says her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. You know, there's another peaceable one too. Let me see. I'm gonna jump down to verse 27. This is what's called Proverbs 31:27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. So she looketh well to the household to see what can she do when the husband at work. It's got Passover, the feast of unleavened bread. She might start having a project of getting all the leaven out of the house. That's the project for the month, making sure everything's straight. Before the feast of Passover and things of that nature, man. And she looking well to the household, not eating the bread of idleness, being idle for 8 hours, right? She reads one chapter, and guess what? She's idle for the next few hours and fall asleep. And then she do it all over again tomorrow, right? That's the bread of idleness, man, right? But I'm gonna jump down to verse 31, Proverbs 31 and verse 31. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates, man. And let her like Dorcas, man. Everybody was crying because she made some beautiful garments, man. Her own works was praising her in the land, in the gate, Salakia. So that should be you. You should strive to be like Dorcas, or you strive to be better, man. Do something that people will remember you by in truth and sincerity. You know, like Mary Magdalene, her name would forever be remembered. I don't want to be long-winded, but it's the spirit of the Lord. It is what it is. Um, like Mary Magdalene, her name will always be remembered of her anointing the feet of Yahushua, man. It will always be remembered. Not everyone will do that, but
Mm-hmm.
her works is praising her in the gates, man. Like, again, Dorcas, man. Priscilla, the house of Chloe, Clement, all these different women. Mary, the mother of Yahushua, Mary, the mother of James, and I believe, yeah, James. You know, hey, these females, these women were always known for following the Lord, man. But that's all.
Yeah, Khan. That's right. That's right. Always known for following the Lord in whatever they did, right? Or it's lucky, or whatever he did. That's what they're doing, right? And Khan, and I just want to touch on the point. like how the brother said, don't think that just because women's not out there teaching, women might read certain scriptures and be like, is the Lord dealing with women, right? I don't really know if the Lord's dealing with us. Then you just go back into the world, right? Nah, man, nah. The Lord is dealing with women, right? Maybe not to the certain extent as up to the men, but He's still dealing with them, right? Last time I checked, the Lord said He's married to Israel as a whole, right? Not just the men of Israel, but Israel as a whole, right? And like how we were saying, also there's many accounts, right, of righteous women in the precepts in the scriptures, you know, and like Peter's wife must have been on fire, man, because remember Peter wasn't at home all day, man. You know, sometimes wives, they need that attention, right? They need that, they want to lay up with their husband all damn day, you know. Don't go to work, right? Just 1 more hour, just 1 more hour, one more movie, one more episode. Hey, man, hey, sometimes, hey, we got stuff to do, right? And the men have stuff to do, right? And the men of the Lord, that's what they're always on the job. You know, we're always on the job. Yeah, we take breaks, right? Yeah, we go to sleep, right? But we're always on the job because at any given second, we got to be instant to teach, right? At the drop of a dime, right? At any given second, we got to do the work of the Lord. At any given second, hell could break loose. Boom, we have to be the ones to lead our household, right? Not the woman, right? We have to do that. So, so that's why I say that being a servant of the Lord, we're always on the job until the Lord come, because He said, "Occupy till I come." Right? He didn't say occupy, and then what I'm saying, your shift is off, on certain days or in certain hours of the day, and then you're shifted back on. No, He said, "Occupy till I come." Period. Right? Period. That means we're always on the job until your house shot come back, man. You know, even that precept in the Book of Psalms, right? A precept in the Book of Psalms, the brother by Abaya brought out. It's good. It's a good precept. All right. All praises. It says this is the book of Psalms, chapter 134, and verse 1. Behold, bless ye the Lord, all ye servants of the Lord, which by night stand in the house of the Lord. You see that? And last time I checked, hey, this is a spiritual night right now. So we're standing in the watch. We're standing in the watchtower right now. So that means that until the sun comes up, we're always on the job, right? So that's why we can't be laying up women all day, man. Yeah, we have to spend our time, right? Let's say, brothers that have wives, they spend their time with their family. They have to do their business, right? Because, it would be off to just neglect your family, right? All the brother wants to do is he just reads by himself all day. He has a wife, 2 kids. The 3 years old, they're one kid is 10, the other kid is 5 years old. They don't know any of the commandments, not one, right? They have women too, right? This man, he has a wife too, right? And she only really knows Deuteronomy 28:68. She's not really well versed in the precepts like that. She's like she has questions. This brother is just always, he's just studying like he damn single man, like like he's just by himself, just you know working on myself, man. Just reading, Hey man, no, nah. But there is a balance of things. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a balance of things, right? But con.
Actually, I appreciate what you said too. Being in that temple, what you do in the temple, you're making sacrifices. You're giving alms in the temple. You're doing certain things in the temple. You're not doing anything in the temple. You gotta be going off. That temple is holy, man. So when you're in that temple, either you praying, giving alms, serving the Lord in truth and sincerity, putting up your sacrifices, man. Like this is the book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 36, and it reads, "And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age, and had lived with her husband 7 years from her virginity. And she was a widow of about 84 years. That's 84 years. A score is 20. So four score would be 80, and 4 years, it'd be 4 years, so 84 years. So she was 84. She was a widow for 84 years. So she was kind of elderly, right? Which departed not from the temple, but served God with fastings and prayers night and day. You see that? So this one was always in the temple. She did not depart. I mean, she was always in there giving sacrifices, fasting, praying, doing her prayers, man. A lot of people like to, they make one sacrifice and they leave the temple. That's you. You might make one video and I did today. You kick back, you pour in the whole glass, you pour a whole bottle of wine into one cup, and it is what it is, man. You think you on fire? But hold on, she did not depart from the temple, man. She made that her home, her resting place. And that's what we should do. We should make this our resting place, man. Our home. And hey, that's a cut to me. That's a cut to prior to you who's watching this, to everybody, man. We can definitely do way better. Especially Passover approaching. We should be more on fire, man. Doing more sacrifices to the Most High God. And really making our body a living sacrifice, man. In truth and sincerity. But you got it here.
Khan, that's right. That's right. Yep, those spiritual sacrifices, man. I'm gonna just pull that classic real quick. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 35. All right. Sirach, chapter 35, and verse number 3. To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Lord, and to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation. A propitiation is basically a sacrifice, right? Let's just look up that word real quick. Propitiation. So, propitiation, because wouldn't be well versed in this thing. Right? So, propitiation, the action of propitiating or appeasing a God, spirit, or person. So, basically, to appease the Lord, you have to throw up sacrifices. That's how you appease the Lord. And so, the Lord is saying is by you keeping the commandments, you are appeasing the Lord, because that is a sacrifice that you're making. Okay, because just like how it says in the book of Galatians chapter 5 and verse 17, when you deny the flesh, you're not doing certain things that you would do, right? Like how we always say, we don't have like the flesh. You think the flesh wants to stay up, right, and read all day, right? You think that you think this the flesh wants to go out and teach? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the flesh is like, I'm tired today. Nah, but the spirit is like, nah, man, we going to camp, bro. Right? And sometimes, our flesh trying to get back home, trying to get into the precepts because the spirit is willing, and the flesh is like, but I worked a 10-hour shift, not trying to do it. But then, that spirit, that's when that battle comes in, right? Because your spirit wants to do it, but your flesh doesn't, So by you keeping the commandments, right? By you doing that, by you sacrificing your Saturday, right, to the Lord, that's a sacrifice, man. Because all these other people, what I'm saying, they get to go to the mall, right? They get to work. They get that extra money. You know what I'm saying? You're sacrificing your time, your money, your energy, giving that to the Lord, right? And that's a sacrifice, and the Lord sees that, man. By you giving maybe a 1 day, 2 days out the week to fast, that is a sacrifice. Because you could be eating, man. You could be watching a movie, you could be chilling, accent, but now you give that day to the Lord. That's a sacrifice, But it says what? Verse 4, thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. For all these things are to be done because of the commandment. So we are not to be found to be slockhead. It says, thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. So we can't appear empty before the Lord. Whatever sacrifices the Lord has you to throw up, just like how we're going into different offices and different jobs that the Lord has set up in the last days, hey, throw that up, man. That should not appear empty before the Lord, right? If you're not fasting, then pray more, right? If you're not praying more, then fast. If you're not reading as much, then watch more videos. Hey, it's always sacrifices we can be throwing up to the Lord, so come. That's basically it, right? And so we playing a 30-minute fire. Hey, it's been actually 60 minutes to the spirit. So hey, that's all praise to the Most High. We can bring out closing precepts. Your brothers have some. And I can just bring out one, right? Let's bring out a quick one. Right. You got yours first, or
That'd be good.
okay.
Let's do it. Mark chapter 12 and verse 43. And, I'm sorry, verse 41. And it reads, And Yahushua sat over against the treasury and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury. And many that were rich cast in much. So, of course, if you were rich, you wouldn't cast in much because you have more. Verse 42. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. You might be a sister or a brother in this thing that's poor, and all you have is 2 mites. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I looked into it. That's less than a penny. That's nothing, man. That's like a piece of paper you find on the ground that on the road and someone ran over. It was raining. They got mud all over it, man. A dang rat pooped on it. That's nothing, man. That's real poor. You might as well just say you got nothing for real, man. Right? Verse 43. And he called unto him his disciples and saith unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. Now, how is that possible? How are these rich people casting a lot, and this poor widow casting on something less than a penny? Because he going to tell you, verse 44. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living, man. So you might see these other nations, even people in the truth, they might have a lot, man. You can look on the spiritual level, man. They might be very beautiful, man. They might have all the things a man or a woman can ask for. But guess what? You don't really have anything, man. You really have nothing. You're poor, but yet you still give alms to everything that you have. We gotta be like this certain poor widow, man. And if you understand the Lord, He saw her and didn't really see the rich people. And He was pleased with her works, man, because it was in truth and sincerity. Notice how um, he says, Salakia, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living. That's what we should be doing these last days, especially again, Passover coming up. We're in the end of the world. We should be giving alms as much as we can, knocking off sins in truth and sincerity, not being seen of man, but doing it for the Most High God. But come.
Khan, that's right. That's right. That's completely right, man. Khan, I got this precept. Right. Let's go to the book of First John. So, First John, chapter 1, and verse number 7. But if we walk in the light, as He is in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Yahweh Shemashiyah, His Son, cleanses us from all sin. If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So I'm just saying, if we say that we have not sinned, we make Him a liar, and His word is not in us. So at the end of the day, if you sin, if you fail, right? If you transgressed against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, guess what? Our God is very merciful, man, right? It's very merciful. We can talk about the Lord's mercies all day. The time we fail is about all the mercy of the Lord, right? So if you fail, hey, just get back up. There's no time to waste. Passover's coming up. Can't come into the Passover crying and weeping about the sins that we did. You know, here you're sitting at the table, about to eat the Lord's Passover. Then you just start bursting out crying. You know, just start bursting out crying. Now you feel like you're unworthy to eat the Passover, man. That's just Satan at that point. You know, it's not godly sorrow. At that point, it's just Satan, trying to cause you to not eat the Lord's Passover. Now you went the hell off. Now the Lord killed it, you know? Nah, man. So we want to come into the Passover, Lord willing, every brother, every sister, right, comes to the Passover with confidence, man. Confidence that they are worthy to eat the Lord's, to eat of it. Confidence that they, I'm saying, that they actually are servants of the Lord to the best of their ability. So if you went off, you sinned. Guess what? Our God, Yahweh Shah, is just and faithful to forgive us of our sins, right, and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness, right. So with that, All praises to Yahweh. Lord willing, this is edifying. This is Brother Yash Allah.
Brother Abaya.
Come back to yet another video through the Spirit and Power Yahweh. Great thanks to the brother for hopping on with me for this video, man. It's been a pleasure. All praises. Kwame.